We're live.
Good morning. Good morning.
No,
Good morning.
don't get my thing taken down for doing stuff.
Singing songs.
Hello, John Doyle.
Good morning, folks.
Tired.
What's happening?
I don't know. So I hung out with Chris Vinyl Piper. Let's see if he's watching on Sunday. I wasn't going to go out on Sunday because I was watching my alma mater in the championship game of the Atlantic 10 conference, and they won, and I was happy. And I go, well, there's this it's usually kind of a lame record thing they do in the arts district in LA, which if you come to LA, go to the arts district. It's downtown, a lot of good restaurants. It's hard to park around there. But I was having such a good Sunday that I said, you know what, I'll go down there. Traffic was a little, but I went down there and found a spot right away, and I didn't have to pay.
Princess parking.
Yep. And then we went to the thing which they have at this brewery or beer place. The last time I went, there's a walkway down in the art district, and they just had all the record sellers there. But now it's moved onto the it's all throughout this bar restaurant place. And there was probably 10 sellers. And I bought stuff from one seller that they're good records, but the condition became worse when I got home.
Uh-oh.
So that's another thing we can rant about. How record shows or things, the lighting favors the seller. Maybe I should just buy flashlights and just brand them record inspecting sticks.
But, I see guys that do that.
So I was there, I met Chris, and I bought a few records, and then we had a beer, and then Delphina let me know that a guy Jim Newell, I sort of known from buying from him, had passed away 3 months ago. Yeah. PM Sounds in San Pedro, a great record store, heavy on the jazz. He passed
some very cool vintage equipment that he sold.
Equipment there. It's literally next door to a shitty record store. And that guy is famous. Why is that guy famous? Who has the shitty record store, Jim?
Oh, come on. It's a great record store. Jim Callan was the engineer on all of about half of the Parliament Funkadelic. He produced Eddie Hazel's solo stuff. He's a great guy.
Yeah, and he has a shitty record store. The prices are bad. It's not okay. Yeah. But getting back to PM Sounds, so the guy passed away, and
one of the nicest guys in the business. Period.
Yeah, soft spoken, nice.
Just a smile on his face.
You can try and make a deal with him, but he was very,
he's good
sometimes, depending on the record. But he passed away, and now there's two nephews. One nephew, who's a great, sweet, nice guy, is kind of opened up on Sunday to kind of sell off what they have. And Delphina went there and picked up some good stuff, and then I dragged Piper down there, and man, picked up some killer stuff, really good stuff. Here, yeah, Irv's a great dude. We kind of entered into the middle of a little squabble. And then there were two record regular guys, older black guys. You probably know, well, the heavyset guy we would always see at the OC. You know that guy?
Yeah,
he was there. He's a cool. Wow. Both of them are cool dudes, and they kind of were breaking up this thing. But
horrible.
It's not a 50% off sale. He's he's being very cool. He goes, "I've seen you before," and was making deals. But their record, if you see the records I put, there's one record in there that goes. Several of these go for good money, but it was even Vinyl Piper found stuff.
Even
So,
Vinyl Piper?
well, Vinyl Piper is closeted. He's trying to amass, like Blue Notes, like OG Blue Notes. He secretly does that.
Uh-oh.
It's not such a secret anymore. But yeah, it turned into a really great day for me. It's one of those days my team won, I was in a good mood, and now my team, I'm not going to go, but they're going to be in Denver this Thursday playing the NCAA tournament. They got in. They're playing BYU. So that's how.
Let's hope you kill them.
Well, Thursday I'll watch the game on TV. The problem with going to these tournaments is you could say, "Oh, I'm just going to go watch one game and come back." But if they win, they play again on Sunday. So now if I decide to go, I'm going to stay in Denver for. I know I could do record shopping and hang out with some people there, but that's too much of a commitment. Yes, love to root against BYU. So it wasn't the best. Listen, I'm old now. There are no that if you breathe the next day, that's a good day.
Great. Yeah.
But it was a good day. I was in a good mood, and finding kick-ass records improved my mood.
Yeah, I heard you were on Rachel's over the weekend.
She had asked, her and Sue asked me to come up a bunch of different times, and I wasn't free, so I went up for a little bit, and we chatted. Rob Barker was up there. It was a nice chat.
Nice.
And it was on Patreon, so all the horrible people I disparaged in a private thing. The horrible, horrible people I talked bad about. So I think when you're in a good mood and good thing, and I don't think finding kick-ass records changes the state of the world. But I was in a good mood. I found good records. I'll show them in a second when more people come in. So
you went out there and you did something. That's why. Got to get out.
Hold on. Yeah, and then we said, well, why don't you hang out? Delphina, you missed having tacos with me and Chris. But we might go back there again on Sunday. I think we'll go back there again on Sunday.
So how to get back? So is it the cat that has separation anxiety, Delphina, or is
no?
It you?
It's Delphina. It's a cat.
Yeah, cat's a cat.
Cat was probably happy licking itself.
Yeah. No, I have.
I'm serious. Aren't cats the lowest maintenance pet there are?
No, they're horrid. I have 3 of them.
Right, but you can you don't have to go walk your cats. You don't have to take them out to go to the bathroom. They are low maintenance.
It's not true. Every day at 3:00, my cats go nuts. They expect a treat at 3. Same time every day.
Yeah, okay. Again, that's because you're stupid to give them treats every day at 3:00. That's why they expect it.
I didn't start that.
Cats are. Here's one word I never heard. I need to get back to my cat until Delphina mentioned it.
You'd be surprised. You would be. I have like horrible.
Cats are low maintenance, man. Come on.
One of my cats drinks water by taking it with his hand up to his mouth. He doesn't put his face in.
Again, low maintenance. He's doing it himself. You don't have to do it.
No, I didn't have to. Anyway.
Okay.
Delphina is, yeah. I resemble
cats don't care.
Yeah. No, they do. They pretty much secretly, I have 3, and they get together every night and plot exactly how they're going to murder me.
Well, you don't need to be a cat to do that.
Okay,
so,
that's
hold on, and do you want to know? Do you want to know?
Cats Like getting into it with
Hold
Jim.
on.
I'm into
What
cats.
what do you have for your cat?
You talking to me?
Your cats, what do they have?
They have little scratching posts. They have
No,
food.
they have
Water.
a catio.
Oh, they have a catio. That's true. We
Right.
built them a
When you
catio.
give your cats a catio, then that's the problem.
Yeah.
They don't mingle with the dogs at all, do they?
Oh yeah.
They do?
Yeah, they don't get it. They mingle. They mingle mostly around food. There's mingling, but every once in a while they cuddle. One of my pugs, though, my youngest pug, is a complete racist. He hates cats. He's probably a Trump supporter,
Does
and
the
he hates
dog?
cats. He just won't even give cats the time of day.
Yeah, but he doesn't
I
chase
think
them around. He doesn't chase them
no,
around the house.
he gives you a look like he thinks they smell or something. It's really quite racist or speciesist. He's a interspecies
Hey,
racist.
you know what? On when I went into the Rachel Patreon, some of these needy people in the peanut gallery say I don't interact with the peanut gallery a lot. I
Yeah,
think
you
I
are.
do. So
This is way better than the NASA channel. I think so.
hold on, wait. What's this? Toronto's Cosmic Music, Canada's largest music store, just closed their doors for good.
Really?
Were they an independent store?
Um,
Hey, okay. Jimmy Barnes. I don't think I've met all Jim's cats because they hang out in the catio. But his dogs are his two pugs is a mom and son pugs.
yeah.
They're kind of dopey. I can't
Well,
imagine that dog's a Trump supporter. I think if you give that dog a choice of watching Trump and licking his asshole, what do you think that dog's going to choose?
well, of course, and not just his asshole. He'll lick.
Hey, we could talk a little bit about the Black Sabbath. I didn't order it, and from what I understand, if you really desperately want it, you can go to Rhino Canada, and people said it was still available, but I don't know if it's available anymore. And again, my prediction: they're going to put it out in record stores like they did with the first one, just not numbered. So wait, that thing was a big seller for them. They're probably you're gonna be able to go into a record store and buy a copy of that. Plus, I have the Kevin Gray 2010 cut of it, so I think I'm okay with the Black Sabbath.
I've got my green, and that's all I need.
Hey, yeah,
I
another
love that
VCU, another VCU fan here, Danny Allen. Go Rams! Hey, Danny. Trouble is, I think our coach might go to Virginia, so we might lose the coach. But from what I understand, the way it works in college athletics in the U.S. now is nil money. That's how you can pay your athletes. I understand VCU has a huge stash, so I hope the coach stays. But his dad was an assistant. I think he grew up in Charlottesville, so there you go. But VCU is a good job. We'll find another hot guy to come in and take over the team.
Well, tell us. So I think we need to talk to Matt Basterson. He's feeling left out.
Okay. I saw, you know what? Here's what's funny. I sold a record. Thanks. Okay. So I sold a record to someone and now he's saying, please send it to me right now. I will, after this is over, I will package up the record and mail it to this guy.
I sold a record.
To who?
I don't know. Some guy on eBay. I sold Historic Dead on Sunrise or Sunshine. It was a DJ promo.
Hey, I could show some records that will probably be in my auction on Saturday. I'm doing an auction on Saturday, people. This is a very desirable record right here. Right?
Oh yeah.
This is a US I believe an OG US of Small Faces. And the cover's in really nice shape. The record has a little bit of noise, but this is hugely desirable. So
That's the record I fixed that. A record store owner gave me a copy of that had a horrible noise, like an invisible thumbprint on the first record, and every time it went through, it went whoosh. You couldn't really see anything. And I fixed it on the Kermis. The Kermis
yeah,
record.
I have this Dickies record too. I'm gonna put in there. Dickies. This has a great title, Swastikas Over Disneyland.
That's funny.
On this PVC label, US. That'll be in there. So, yeah. Well, there are people who think that record. There are people that think that record's awesome. So, that one is very desirable. So I know that. And then I have 2 copies of this. I have to decide which one I'm going to keep. The other one will go in the auction. This is a German pressing, and this is a US pressing. So I have to decide which one I'm going to keep of those. What else?
Nothing.
Oh, hold on. What's this? What do Americans make of Stanley and spoken bits on Ogden? I don't know who he is. So there you go. This American makes nothing of it.
On Ogden's that kind?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I listened to the record. Yes. It doesn't sound any different than some British guy doing narration on something.
So someone's waiting for a tongue lashing, right? Don't we have any morons out there?
Yeah, here's one right here. This guy. He's the king of the morons.
All right.
There you go. Calm down. You've been called a moron. Your day's made. It is a nice one, but the funny thing is I have the cassette, which has a ton more songs on it.
Huh.
They didn't release that as a double album. Yeah, I'm not a Small Faces guy or Faces guy.
I put a
they're an offshoot of each other, right? The Itchy Gooey Park one. I like that song. No. I don't reach out. I don't reach out to anybody. I'm not reaching out to anyone. You reach out to him.
Tell him to get over here. He's probably watching.
We have 139.
Dalek's icky.
I'm telling you right now, there are people watching that you don't even suspect would watch. Like there are 2 guys who have raging hard-ons for me that are watching right now.
It's a little early in the morning for that kind of talk.
Well, that's their deal. Every chance they get, they express it.
It's not right. It's just not right.
No. Should I show records I found with Sunday?
Yeah. Where's Norman Stormer?
Who cares?
Yeah, really.
He's so busy.
Trouble carrying.
He's having his tips frosted. All right. This is a really good one. I listened to this last night, Gretchen Encore the Third on BYG Actual. I'm not even going to pronounce that name. One morning I waked up very early, which is what I did today. This is a kick. You would never think that this trombonist, that's the only, other than piano, bass, and drums, this album is awesome. Sounds excellent. This is one of the maybe I should make myself big. This is one of the records I found at that store.
Very cool.
And understand, we dug through boxes. Vinyl Piper and I must have dug through 30 different boxes to find records. So this wasn't out and about. This is not in the best shape, but has no noise. It plays excellent. Very happy with this. These are the ones I cleaned and listened to. I have a stack I haven't even hit yet. If you know, when people who don't know jazz and you talk about jazz, this is the album that people I think jazz sounds like. This is the type of album you put on at night and have a hot lady with you, and you're
And things
interested.
will happen. Magic.
And this is an OG Van Gelder Moodsville Deep Groove Green Label.
Wow.
And this is a killer line. The cover, this record's in amazing shape. And this record, look at the lineup on this thing. You got Coleman Hawkins, Ronell Bright, Kenny Burrell, Ron Carter, and Andrew Sorrell. This is a kick-ass record. Hold on. Well, you would have found this record, and I would have hated you. No, this is awesome. Okay, found that. Delphina, if you would have dug, you would have found a beautiful 1960 stereo RVG copy of The Connection.
Wow.
And this is what I grabbed. Vinyl Piper wanted this for his Blue Note collection. I'm not selling the Coleman Hawkins. It's for me. That's questions I get when I post records. Are you selling that? I collect records, people.
It's your own fault, though, Rob.
I actually am selling my old my old copy of this, which is the Connoisseur series from the 90s. That the Wally, it's a Wally one. I'm selling that in the auction. I'm upgrading to this. I did put 2 records I picked up, but I'm not going to show them. It's already in the auction. This is a good one. This is on Jazzland. A Story Tell with Clifford Jordan and Sonny Red. Nice one. That one. And then this is the record people want from me. I know where Jim went. This OG minty mint condition of Jazz in the Space Age. George Russell with Bill Evans.
Wow.
The Decca. Look at a Decca red deep groove label. This thing is mint. If I said how much I paid for this, people would shit their pants.
Very cool. That's the one.
This is like $150, $200 record. Might be more. This is kick-ass. And it sounds awesome.
Nice.
So the only version I have of this is there's a twofer, George Russell twofer, which has New York, New York in this on it. This is a find. If you ever see this, this is a find. Wow. So those are the ones I cleaned and listened to. Here are the other ones I picked up. Still in the shrink, but this is an OJC of Curtis Fuller's New Trombone. And that technically is Sonny Red. That's Sonny Red's his real name is actually, it's not even Sonny. I forget what it is, but that's his real last name. Hank Jones, Doug Watkins, and Lewis Hayes. So this is an OJC. What label is it on? Yeah. All right, that one. Another OJC. I didn't know about this one. Earthly, Kenny Burrell, Al Cohen, Art Farmer, Hal McCusick, and anything with Mal Waldron I bought. Ed Thigpen and Teddy Kochik. This is an OJC. All right. This one is worth a lot. This one's worth some money. Some money. Might be a lot of money. So this came out as a Tone Poet last year, I think. I bought the Tone Poet. A Tone Poet stereo. This is a mono. OG mono. Beautiful. Nice. It's the seam split. I got to repair that. But OG mono on Pacific Jazz. So this is a cool one I found. Nice. Here's a good one. Moodsville Prestige. This is what I got at the record show. But this seems to be a comp of all the Moodsville stuff. So,
how many records did you buy at PM, do you think?
I don't know, 15 or 20. There's that old green label. This is RVG, Deep Groove. But this has got pock marks all over it, which sometimes that you can't tell. So
Have you even played it?
I like the Moodsville. So okay, this is another OJC with this killer lineup. Idris Suleiman, Kenny Burrell, Jackie McLean, Mal Waldron, Paul Chambers, Art Taylor. So this OJC. All right, this is sealed. Sealed. But this is a very desirable record. But this is one of those French 1984. But from what I hear, I have several of these. They sound really good. I think I heard that these are analog. Yeah. This is a very desirable record. In fact, the Jazz Dispensary put this out with Vinyl Me Please, I think a couple of years ago. This Todd Cochran, Worlds Around the Sun record. But this is an OG copy of it. I think it's like avant-garde jazz fusion. Here's the cover. I've not cleaned it. It came out. This is, hey Rich, this is Van Gelder. Van Gelder did this. This is Bobby Hutcherson's, I think, on here. Several different lineups, but this is a very desirable record. So I know that you can get that Vinyl Me Please one, but this is not a cheap record. So I only remember it from people showing it. So I haven't cleaned and listened to it yet. Very happy with this one. So here, I'll show these next. Here's another Moodsville. This will be in the auction because I have it already. But I'm going to upgrade my cover. And this isn't in that bad of shape. This is a Van Gelder, RVG. Someone wrote their name on the label. This is a kick-ass record. Red Garland, Lockjaw Davis, Sam Jones, and Art Taylor. Really good. He's one of the artists I have like the most of record. Oh, here's someone to ruin me showing records. What's up, Mazzy? But this will probably be in the auction. So her records have become very desirable. Emily Remler. This is I've never seen a gold stamp on that like that.
They need to put a bigger stamp on a record. That's like massive.
So she died very young from a heroin overdose. But her records have become very desirable. And this looks like it's never been played.
Great guitar player.
Yeah. There was a record store day.
That was very good. It was
this looks like this is, if a record is mint, it's this.
Wow.
So this is one I have not seen of hers. There's two, like, I don't know if it's her first two. Well, there you go, Delphina. You need to dig through boxes. Why don't you come out with Vinyl Piper and me on Sunday? Okay. This, so this record, I found another of the BYGs. I already had this one, which is weird because his name's Jack on the back, but it's Jacques on the front. So this is a very desirable one. This was at the record show the guy had. I don't know what he didn't think he had, because this is an expensive record, but I bought it for cheap. So very happy picking this up there.
Good morning. You've called Jeff E. I am not home right now. Please leave a message at the tone and I will get back to you.
Can everyone understand it's Mazzy's world? We just live in it.
I'm responding to your audience. You know, I take okay. I was listening.
You have the ability to type in the comments, hey, what's up?
I'm drinking my coffee. I'm too tired here.
I found that I'm a few more records left. Give me a chance. I found this without a cover. This is a Liberty pressing of a pickled serenade. So I already have the 80 Blue Note 80. I'll just put that in there with that cover. So
There you
that's
go.
really all right. Another Moodsville. I think I have this already. This might go in the auction. I'll see which is a better copy. Another Red Garland trio. And on the green label, RVG and the Dead Wax. Very nice. I found this at the record show, an OG copy of Mingus Wonderland. So I have to determine how good this is. And then here's the last two I found. Freakbeat has these on the wall for $100 each. I did not pay $100 each, any near remote for. So I got volume 1. This is Bill Evans live in Paris. This is a friend. I think this only came out in France. So there's 3 volumes. I found 2.
Barclay. Is that Barclay? What label is that?
This is not Barclay. This is from 1972. It's just a France's content. It's just a. I don't know.
Is this when Bill Evans had his mullet?
Yes, it's when Bill Evans was a hippie.
Okay.
These came out in 1988. So it's from a show in 1970, but they're on the wall of Freakbeat for $100 each. I need to get part 3, so I found volume 1 and 2. So these, I think, yes, you left all the records for me, Delphina. You could have gone through all of them. All right, that's what I found. There you go. Thank you.
You know, I think you're being a little disingenuous when you say this is the record. I listened to it before I got up here. This is the record everybody wants. Who are you? Sound like Trump. Everybody likes me. Everybody wants this.
Hey,
this is the record everybody wants.
Hey, you know what? Expect an audit. Expect an audit very soon. So, Vinyl Piper, you're more than welcome to come up here and show the records you found. So he found, that a United States of America album. Yeah. It's not United States of American. I didn't know it came.
I have it in the envelope too.
Yeah, he found it in the envelope.
I have my original I bought in 1968. It's got a tear on the envelope though, but I have it in the original manila envelope. Yeah, but that's great. You never see that in the envelope, so that's pretty cool, Piper.
My hands were covered with filth after digging through all those records. But I mean,
did the version was it perfect manila? Sorry. Was the manila in perfect shape?
No. Oh. But it was in the envelope.
You never see that. Is pretty rare. You never see that manila envelope.
Okay, so here's something. Vinyl Piper found this Leonard Cohen record sealed, and it has a promo stamp on the back.
Right.
It is not. There are no promos listed on Discogs.
Is that which one is it? Love and Death? No, which one is it? Oh, Love and Hate. Okay, Love and Hate.
Yeah.
Hey, Rob, did you get a RSVP for that event tomorrow night?
I didn't sign up to go, but I got a notification. I mean, I'm not going to go see Dweezil Zappa speak about shit. Are you?
Is Dweezil the one? Is Dweezil the one who has a podcast?
No, that's Amit.
Oh, that's right. I get good. Okay.
I mean, again, here's the reason I don't go out. I'm not going to drive 2 hours to go watch Dweezil Zappa talk about shit.
Yeah, I don't know if I would either, to be honest with you.
Well, fortunately, from Sun Valley, California,
it's a quicker drive for me. It is
a slide down to WeHo.
Does he have a theme that he's talking about, Jim?
No, actually, it's a Discogs. It's a Discogs sponsored event.
It's a Discogs listening event, I think.
What's he playing, or what sort are they playing?
I have no idea.
They're being very vague about what's going on.
Yeah, it's a thing though, man. Discogs listening, listening room. Get ready.
We've seen actually. Jim and I have been at two events. Jim and I have been at 2 events with Jim and I have been at 2 events where Dweezil Zappa's been there.
Complimentary drinks and food will be provided for attendees.
Yes.
Also, this is a Discogs event. Dweezil Zappa is going to be there. Does anyone care to know what my Discogs username is? Zappa Fan 1. So
Wow.
if they ever ask, hey, who's Zappa Fan 1?
Now, what kind of venue is it?
It's a club in Hollywood.
It's a club in Hollywood. It's a
West
Is there
Hollywood.
a name? Is there a name for this club?
You don't know any club. Name a club in West Hollywood.
I don't want to say
the
this is
Viper
like
Room.
a private thing.
The Viper Room. Whiskey a Go-Go.
It's
You know what? Here's another record I picked
Boys
up.
to Boys.
I'll just say it's on Hollywood Boulevard. It's not on the Strip, so it's on the East End.
Got it.
This is going to be in the auction, I think. So
the Pink Pony, right? West Hollywood? You mean in Boys Town?
West Hollywood. It's a city.
I know West Hollywood.
It's basically West Hollywood is basically Santa Monica Boulevard between.
Yeah, I know West Hollywood.
Doheny. What is it? What would you mostly?
Doheny and
Fairfax, sort of.
Fairfax.
Okay,
That's basically West Hollywood.
Crescent
I know
Heights.
West Hollywood. I know West Hollywood.
My grandmother.
I stayed once at that. I think it was a Holiday Inn in West Hollywood years ago. Once. I think it was
My grandmother lived in West Hollywood her whole life when she lived in LA in an apartment. And man, she was a pistol. She really loved the gay pride thing. She would sit out there, man, my boys. Anyway.
Yeah, that's where people go for Halloween. Like families go down there for Halloween.
To watch the Halloween parade.
All the gays dress up in
the
crazy
Troubadour, the Rainbow Room, the Roxy.
Troubadour, yeah. I used to be the building manager of the 9,000 Sunset building.
You've done everything.
Yeah. 18-story building across the street from the Roxy. I was there for about 9 months. I made keys. I changed light bulbs and pretended that I was working on the air conditioning. It was a fun job.
It's a place.
There were a lot of stars and shit in there. Remember Midnight Special? What was that rock TV show?
Well, there's on Kirshner's. There's Midnight Special was one. Yeah.
Sugarman. Bert Sugarman had the top floor. Remember him? Bert Sugarman. He produced whatever. He was married to Carol Wayne.
I didn't
know Carol Wayne.
Yeah.
Johnny Carson. Carol Wayne. I used to. If she ever was in the building, all of us would make sure we rode the elevator with her. I could tell you that is her real voice, but she is extremely intelligent, not a dummy.
Thank you for that.
And she as well, like Natalie Woods, rather than shower, she'd rather wash up on the beach.
Oh, really? Is that what happened?
Yeah, Mexico.
Well, so
appointment. Hey, I just got a shot in the knee last Friday. Let's go, Big Ian.
I know this isn't the audience for mellow rock. Now, I just want to say this is not yacht rock. It is mellow soft rock.
Oh, shit.
With a folk bent. I just saw that Bob D, a few people, Jesse Colin Young, some folk sing, obviously from the Youngbloods, the voice of a generation with the version of Get Together, the Chet Powers, Danny Valenti, what's his name, from the Quicksilver, who wrote Get Together. The definitive version is the Youngbloods version. It became an anthem of a generation, right? This record is excellent. It's a hippie record. Youngbloods moved from New York to Northern California, lived up by Point Reyes, that area. You remember this? Their response to Merle Haggard, that song "Hippie from
Oh,
Olima."
yeah, I'm just a hippie from Olima.
It's a great song, you know.
Olima's
So
right
I've
behind
been
Berkeley.
playing these. I mean, it's soft rock with a little jazz influence and a lot about the environment and living in pine trees and all that shit. But they're nice records. But
We still take in strangers when they're hungry.
yeah, when they're haggard, and then when they're haggard, the last line he
When
says when they're haggard.
Yeah.
You know,
That was a great song. I was like,
I mean, he had a great tenor voice. This is the one that got a lot of FM airplay at the time.
that was my anthem for about 10
Song
minutes.
for Julie. High on a ridge top with that great line, funky dirt. Funky dirt. Chewing on pine trees or chewing on whatever. Yeah. It is not yacht rock, Jeffy. Sorry. Soft rock with jazz is rock. Yeah, no, it's not. It's
That's
not.
more like country soft rock.
Yeah. Yeah. It's got, you know.
Are you
But he's
making
got a beautiful
video,
voice.
Are you making a video, Mazzy?
No, I'm not.
Why not? What constitutes?
You know, I
someone
have to have a real passion for the art. I mean, I like Jesse Collins and I like the Youngbloods, but I'm not like if Warren Zevon was alive and passed, I would do something on Warren Zevon. I mean, there's certain artists, the ones I've done, I really have a deep passion for.
It seems like you have enough records to do a little video about him dying.
Oh, I totally do. With you, and I have the
Like, wasn't he married to someone?
His wife.
No, another artist.
Not that I know of. I don't know. I haven't followed his career, but he lived like in like Point Reyes over by Stimson Beach for many years, and the house burned down with all the stuff in it back in the 80s, maybe. And he moved to Hawaii, and he never went back to the Bay Area there. Yeah, Marian Faithful is the last one I did because I really something about Marian Faithful, you know, was really interesting.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Harry.
Morning, Harry.
Yes, it is.
No, I don't like Dan Fogelberg. I don't know what it is about Dan Fogelberg. I just never
I liked
connected.
a couple of his songs.
How about Tim Weisberg? Remember him?
No, that kind of flouty, faux jazzy thing really just kind of bored
He
me.
used to walk around Topanga barefoot.
I
Didn't he
like
do a
Old Lang
record?
Syne and
Didn't he do a record with Dan Fogelberg?
I think so. I
Oh, actually, didn't you get that from Brad?
What, Dan Fogelberg?
Yeah,
I did not.
They just put out a damn photo. I have it somewhere.
I
around
did
here.
not, and I hope not. I don't get one.
Well,
I've gotten some other stuff of his I'm going to showcase. I got an excellent Francois Hardy comp.
yeah, I'm supposed to get. I haven't seen Brad.
Yeah.
I wasn't free when he was free, so next week I think I'm going to grab something from.
Yeah.
him. Here's one thing we can sort of talk about. From what I'm hearing, and this has been going the last few years, Record Store Day, the people that run Record Store Day are being highly selective of the titles they will put into Record Store Day.
I'm sure
And
they are.
From what I'm hearing, and it might not seem this way, they're kind of really turning off to these live jazz releases. So there is a case in point.
well, they should get rid of the picture disc and the zoetropes and all the other.
You know, the thing is, we're not the audience, but people actually like those pictures. I don't know why.
Well, hold
like
on. We're not talking. Harry, stay on point. We're not fucking talking about picture discs.
Yeah, but
We're talking about stuff they don't want to put on record
I
stores.
disagree with
Right,
Rob. Let me fight with Rob here.
I'm just
No, no.
answering your fucking
Conversation.
question.
Mazzy.
No, shut up. Shut the fuck.
Matt,
Cut
all right,
nerves up.
all right, there we go. That was easy, wasn't it? I didn't want to do it, but that was the easiest thing I ever did. Listen, let me make my point, and then you can put your 3 cents in. So they're turning that one genre they really are. It might not seem this way of these live jazz recordings they're finding. So here's one. There's an Art Pepper, Elemental is putting out. I guess it was not selected for Record Store Day, so it's coming out on May 9th. It's a 2 LP live show from Cronenberg. This is one title. Elemental, that's their bread and butter, these live jazz recordings that come out Record Store Day. They didn't select this one for some reason. So that's my point. Now you can talk about your picture disc.
No,
And your,
the thing is, I'm not a fan of picture discs, but if it's a band, like for instance, when they do things like a Black Sabbath picture disc, that would sell a shitload. There is a segment, not all the Black Sabbath people that like. I don't think, although I did get the Zoetrope Harrison ones, and just for collector purposes, because I'm a Beatle collector. It's a ridiculous thing. They actually look pretty cool, and I don't buy them to play or to do that thing. But I agree. I think picture discs are ridiculous. I
But
think it's
even-
ridiculous that the
but-
Cure records were reissued on picture discs. That's the stupidest thing. The regular reissues, not Record Store Day, were picture discs of the Cure. Those records are hard to get. So why do picture discs?
all I'm saying is,
We know
Yeah.
all you're saying. You're not saying much, Wax.
All I'm saying is give peace a
Record
chance.
Store Day is a bitch because how many titles are they going to put out? 600, 1,000, 2,000?
Does it matter? They're going to
Yeah, it
sell.
does. It does. No,
well, like,
it doesn't matter. They don't.
so
Record Store
Omnivore-
end up with
I'm-
bins and bins of unsold shit.
Omnivore has a new Art Pepper release, but they're only putting it on CD. It's a 2 CD set. Like all the Art Pepper stuff, these are all live shows. Seem like him and his wife recorded every show he ever did.
Like there's a Warren Zevon box coming out. I think it's 3 records, not 4, 3 or 4. It's the Giant records, which are hard to get on vinyl. I think one of them, Mr. Bad Example, The Mutineer, and I forgot the other one. And those are hard to get. You can get them, but they're hard to get. So I think and I think Rhino's putting that up. That's going to sell. I don't know if it'll sell out right away, but it'll sell. That's a good example.
I'm just wondering, will there be a Grateful Dead release?
I'm
Yeah, there
wondering, what do you think?
Isn't there
those sell.
always?
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you
those
think?
sell.
Couple of them.
What do you think the Beatles release will be in the fourth quarter this year?
You mean
Mazzy?
Black Friday?
No.
Oh, the
Whatever.
actual physical
Whatever. What do
release.
you think they're going to release in the fourth quarter? Whether
Well,
it's
it could
What's
be,
the thing?
some people think it's Rubber Soul because it's 50 years. See, this year is 50 years for Help and Rubber Soul. Rubber Soul would make sense if they do the remix.
60 years.
I am not a fan of remixes, and I think
Yeah.
All
I
right.
said that.
Hold on. I think Mr. Sticker Mania is more in tuned. He says with the Beatles.
Yeah, I don't
What are
think
they going to do with it? I mean, what can they
Right.
add to that?
Right.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be with. I mean, if they do the 50-year thing, now if they do the 50-year thing, they could also do volume 2 of a Capitol box, mono box, because Help, Rubber Soul, and the Rubber Soul, the American Rubber Soul is in demand. It's the best Rubber Soul. So
Here's what I'd like to see for Record Store Day. I would love to see this.
Yeah, I know you would.
Maybe we'll get a second box set like 64.
That is not Mazzy's
60 years. Yes.
Hey,
Sorry,
you know
Josh.
what? Can everyone
60.
do me a favor? When you're out looking for records, find Mac Davis records and mail them to Jim, please.
Josh corrected me, rightly
No,
so.
this
60
one.
years, not 50. 60
Yes.
years,
It's
not 50.
Midnight Crazy.
There were 10 years Mazzy lost because he was.
I
hot.
totally lost it, Josh. Thank you, Josh.
So
Frank, what makes you
Hey,
think we're going
hold
to get with the Beatles, and what will it be?
how many
with
people bought the Paranoid?
I bought 2, one for myself and one for Elk Boy.
I
didn't-
bought it.
I have the 2010 Kevin Gray.
Yes,
So-
please mail me the Zappa.
But everyone with me? They're going to come out with the record to sell
Of
in
course they
store.
will. Of course they will.
I'll wait for that one.
That's fine.
Well,
I
when
bought
are
it.
they going to come
Look-
out with the first Cars record then?
I don't know. I don't
Okay,
run.
well,
You
you
know,
don't know
Hey,
that they're
there's-
going to
bro,
do
hold
this
on.
one either.
Hold on, Harry. There's one moron here on screen that has a pipeline into Rhino. He can find out.
I don't know about that. I didn't know about the Cooper record, the Alice Cooper, until 2 days before. Now,
How did that sell?
I bet. First of all, I didn't buy the Al Cooper. I didn't buy the Alice Cooper record, but I played my copy from, was it 10 years ago, whatever. And that's a really good record. But then I thought, how much would I play another copy of it? So I didn't buy it. But I'm sure the Rhino's probably a scotch better. But the one I have from 8-10 years ago is excellent. I think it's 2000 16 maybe.
Hey,
But the problem with the last Paranoid you're talking about, that was pressed at Rainbow, and a lot of people had noise issues with it. Maybe yours is clean wax, but a lot of those were
okay,
crappy
so
pressings.
there's a video. If you go to my YouTube shorts, when I got that record, I played it on Jim's stereo, and it sounded awesome.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So
yeah, I
there
saw that, Frank,
You know,
but I still
and then
don't
there's
know what they
people
would-
on the forums that get pissed, and I can't comment on that Rhino forum anymore. That's the one I'm banned at. I'm banned on. But that were all upset. Oh, but Rhino should have put a limit. It seems like someone could have bought 10 copies and 8 copies. The thing is, fuck this thing. How we've known, everybody who buys records, really, who follows a hi-fi, knew the day they were going to announce it on last Friday. They knew that Westman promotes it. You can get on the Rhino mailing list. It was available for about, 8 hours or something, or overnight maybe. So anybody who really followed their fucking shit could have bought a copy. So give me a break if you
no, hold on, calm down. It'll be out
Yeah, I understand that.
to buy in
but
stores.
It'll be out again, but people are still pissed. They say, I missed it. I didn't know about it. I was working. Well, you had fucking 8 hours. How hard is it on your fucking phone to push buy anywhere?
Yeah, if you're interested in Rhino stuff, follow the.
You know it's coming
Shit.
out. Follow the mail list. Follow Westman's stream because he always announced it 6 a.m. on the day of the release. Geez, so it's sold out the same day. Give me a fucking break. Pay fucking attention.
Now, who was it that did an interview on a podcast somewhere and kind of spilled the beans on a box set that's coming out? And this was the artist.
Well, wait, I don't know what you're talking about.
There is there is a box set coming out soon on the Rhino Hi-Fi.
And the artist involved was on a podcast, and he said, "Oh, we're mixing these right now for a box set."
Who is that? Who is that?
I can't remember what his name.
Come on,
I know.
Somebody help me.
You have
Somebody
one
help me.
job, Harry. You have one job, Harry.
Yeah, I know one of the
Somebody
boxes
will
they're
know.
putting out, and one of the ones I thought was coming out apparently is not in the near future.
What's the box coming out?
I can't say.
What's her name? I can't tell you.
Oh, come on, Harry. Think about it.
I'll think about it.
That's a song
You
lyric,
heard it.
Bob.
Do you have a take a deep
Oh,
breath?
Oh yeah, it is.
Thank you.
It's Zeppelin.
Delphina.
It's Zeppelin.
It is.
It is.
They're not going to do a fuck. That's Led Zeppelin shit.
They
man.
talked about it. They said, "Oh yeah,
Who?
Jimmy Page is
Where
involved."
did you hear this?
Whoever it was on somebody's podcast, and someone else reported it that they heard them talk about it on the podcast.
Well, if they
Yeah,
do a
He
Led
let it
Zeppelin,
slip.
if they couldn't limit that to 5,000 copies.
No.
I'm typing in box set on podcast.
Raji's right.
I don't know about that.
Okay.
Oh,
Rich, you're right.
okay,
Well,
here, hold on. I found what you think you're thinking about.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to share the screen.
Oh no. What is it going to be now?
They're not
Would
going to
it-
do a Grateful Dead box.
Hold
Grateful
on.
Dead already does their own.
Hold on. I found what I think you're thinking about.
Maybe it is the Page Black Crows. I'm not sure, but
No, hold on. Hold on.
Yeah, Vinyl Piper. They always sell. So there's always some dicks selling for more money on
Well, hold on.
very good, Jeff.
Black Crows. Who gives a shit about the black?
When did
fucking
this
crows?
this come out? The Live at the Greek. When was that?
Oh, years ago.
Yeah, I don't give a shit about that.
So there you go. Harry excited everyone, and now it's just
Well,
stupid.
okay, but it's there, right? You're looking at it.
Some of my favorite Rhino Hi-Fis are the ones that haven't sold as well. Like I think Graham Grievous Angel and the Emmylou Harris are excellent. It's really good sounding. They give the originals an edge, not a lot, but they're good recordings anyway. And those
So
didn't sell out.
Black
So
Crows.
if
I
you
like
sat
that.
on the
Yeah.
Graham Parsons or Emmylou Harris, those are amazing records. I mean, and those
But
are
I have originals.
what?
I have originals.
Okay,
I don't need.
not for you. There's a lot of people out there that don't have
That
those
don't, yeah.
records.
Yeah.
you know, and you might as well get those. You know, someone's always going to
Means-
flip. There's always flippers. Yeah, on Discogs are asking $150 for the Black Sabbath, and you're an idiot if you go buy it for that. But you know, there are people with a lot of money that don't want to deal with shit and just will press buy and sell it. But those fuckers, I can't believe you're allowed to post something if you don't have it in hand, because those people don't have those copies in hand yet.
How do? Yeah, but how does eBay know that you don't have a record in hand?
Well, I know, but you know, someone.
How
Yeah.
are you supposed to prove it to them?
Mine, well, they made the shipping labels yesterday because I got a notice. It hasn't shipped yet, but they made the labels, so I got the notice that it shipped, but it hasn't. It's not en route yet.
Where does the Rhino stuff ship from?
It depends.
Yeah, actually,
think
here when I've
Southern
gotten
California.
copies, it comes right from LA. Ships
Yeah, I
from
think
LA.
so too.
Because I've got a FedEx thing coming today that I have to sign for, and it weighs 2 pounds. It's got, and I'm thinking it's the Black Sabbath.
Gotta be a record.
It is. No,
Could it be here already? I mean, geez, it just came
Well,
out.
it could. It could.
I can't believe you don't sign up for like the post. Here's a tip for you.
No, I
all.
get a notification from, but it doesn't say who shipped it. It just says it's coming from Texas.
Yeah,
That's
if
probably
you sign
not.
up for the post office, UPS, and FedEx, you'll get a notification from them when someone sends something to you from that.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I get all those notifications.
Let's see.
This is a sheepadoodle.
A sheepadoodle. What's this?
That,
what's
you know
sheepadoodle's
what
name?
that dog? You know what that dog does? That dog will go up to you and grab your hand and force you to pet it.
That's a good dog.
And that dog is as big as me. It jumps up and throws its paws on my chest.
Okay. Did you get the shipping notice from Rhino though, Harry?
No, I didn't.
I got one, and it's FedEx, label created in Vista, California, but it hasn't moved. So basically, they probably printed all the labels yesterday, and they haven't picked up by FedEx. So maybe today they'll get picked up, or they'll slap them on. So just because you get a notification doesn't mean it's actually on the run.
Mine is coming from Plano, Texas.
No, that's not.
2 pounds FedEx, and it'll be delivered today. And it says it gives me an invoice number. Maybe I can check that with Rhino and see.
It wouldn't be
dog's
coming.
name is-
It
this
wouldn't be
dog's name
coming
is-
from Plano.
It shouldn't be coming from Plano, Texas. You know.
I can't think what else I'd have to
I
sign
got something
for.
coming Royal Mail. I've been following it, and I thought it was Small Faces box, and that hasn't shipped yet.
Hey,
so.
Harry, I believe that's your hemorrhoid cream coming from Plano.
Oh, Rob, come on. Come on, man. Don't do that to me in public.
I have 2 packages having a better time than I am traveling around the world.
Oh, that happens.
2 sheepadoodles, huh? Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
sent things to California and watched them go like to Ohio and all over before they get to California.
You remember the old days when FedEx was always by 10:30 in the morning the next day? That was.
Hey, can I ask your dog a question, Jim? That might be
First of
more.
all, his name is not the dog; it's Calvin, and he's named after Cal Schenkel,
No.
artist for most of the.
Hey,
Calvin.
Calvin.
Calvin and Hobbes.
Yeah, Calvin. What does Jim's asshole smell like right now?
He would say
Dingleberries.
Let him talk.
Corned beef casserole. Corned beef casserole.
All right. Here's a good discussion to have.
I had shepherd's pie yesterday.
All right, here's a
I
good
made it.
discussion. Jim made shepherd's pie, but Jim was very adamant that he was making brisket and that he was putting the
You
brisket.
didn't make it with lamb?
No, he made it with corned beef.
Yeah, I made a corned beef
Corned
brisket.
beef, even though maybe the original piece of meat technically is brisket, but when it is corned, it is corned beef. It is no longer brisket.
Okay, all right. Well, I never actually graduated from the,
Well,
higher education.
Did you corn? Let me ask you a question. Did you corn the beef or did you buy it already corned?
The hell does
No,
corn
let me
to
ask you,
beef
you ever been
mean?
corn- you ever
even?
been-
It's basically you
This
pickle
question
it.
was asked of me
You
once.
pickle the meat in a
Have you ever
brine.
been cornholed in a hobo camp? Rob?
You
Anyway,
pickle the meat. You pickle the meat in a brine and then you steam
Mhm.
it. That's
This
how you
was
make
in a-
corned beef, right?
this was in a plastic
I'm not a
container
fan of corned
with a
beef.
picture of a leprechaun on it
No,
that I
because
purchased at Costco.
well, corned beef is good in a Reuben, but the better meat is the pastrami. That is a fact.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was a hit. It worked out very nice.
Rob, what do you know about delis?
Especially from DC.
Yeah, it's the ish and my Jewish. This. Well, there's a great documentary called Deli Man. I think it's like 20 years old, and they say in the beginning of that there used to be like 20,000 Jewish delis across the U.S. Now, at the time of the movie, there's less than 2,000. Here in L.A., there's only 3 I know of. Most of the delis in LA are Italian delis.
There
was a good one near Bellevue. It's called Goldberg's. They're not there anymore, but I would drive there. It was that good.
There's
I
2
lived in
here.
the Bay Area for a number of years, and I was never more disappointed. There's no Jewish deli in the South Bay, San Francisco. You go get a rye, and it's Swedish rye.
The best deli in LA is Brent's.
True.
One in Northridge, one in what's the other?
Is Cantor's no longer good?
No, Cantor's is good.
Cantor's is not as good as Brent's.
I would say you can, I like Cantor's just as much.
Hold on.
It's so bad that
listen, you moron. It's Cantor's with a C.
No, it's not. Oh, yeah, it is. It is.
And
listen, you horrible argumentative person.
Yeah. I don't know when the last time you were there, but it's cleaned up.
But actually, they opened a shadow kitchen in West LA, Cantor's. But the best deli is Brent's. I don't think Langer's technically is a deli, is it?
Yeah, Langer's is a deli, of course it is.
But Langer's, their pastrami is the best I've ever had in my life.
I was surprised, 15, 20 years ago now that the Carnegie Deli closed. That to me broke my heart.
You know what they did?
The Second Avenue Deli ended up moving, so it's not even on Second Avenue.
But you know what they did, Mazzy? They Carnegie, they opened up they opened up other locations. That's what screwed them.
They tried the Beverly Hills one. That didn't last long.
Hey, Jim, where did you take Patrick to?
And I think they didn't.
Where did
Carnegie Deli? Carnegie Deli had one in Vegas too for a while.
Yeah, that one in DC. They opened one in DC.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but the one they had there was
great. Listen, Rich, I don't know what you are, Rich. When I talk to you, you sound like you're from Boston.
No, I think
but it's with a C, dude.
I think Cantor's is cleaner these days. I could be.
There's a Ukrainian deli here in Puyallup.
You can walk into the one in West LA. It's just like a kitchen and pick up a good sandwich there. There used to be Labels Tables was good. The worst one is the one in
Bernie. And
this cool.
This was
your mom's dog,
mother's dog.
Yeah, Delphina Greenblatt's closed down, didn't it?
Where's Greenblatt's? I don't know Greenblatt's.
Used to be on Sunset, right next door to the Laugh Factory.
Might still be there.
That makes sense.
There used to be a chain of good delis in Los Angeles called Kaplan's Deli with a K.
And no relation. Could get good cocaine there in the men's room.
Well, it
was the basis for the bear.
We used to have this Italian restaurant, great restaurant called Vanessi's on Broadway. And a couple back in the late 70s, a couple of the waiters, like they're the waiters, typical with the suits or the, tuxedo tops and stuff. They used to sell cocaine. So I bought any from them, but
Greenblatt's was okay. But listen, here's the deal. Brent's Deli is so good. My grandma used to make stuffed cabbage, Their stuffed cabbage tastes just like my grandma's.
I
At
haven't
Brent.
had stuffed cabbage in years. I hadn't
Well,
thought about
it
that.
depends how the Jewish way of making it's the best.
Oh,
Well,
And then-
isn't there also a German way of doing it?
Well, I think their way I don't know. I assume it's German Jews. I don't know. My grandma's stuffed cabbage, they make it at Brent's. They also make great potato pancakes, and most importantly, their matzo ball soup is awesome. Who's turning on their computer? Good. Yeah. He has more important. Look, he's dealing with the Rhino people right now.
Yeah.
That's how someone communicates with the Rhino people. Watch, Jim.
You're muted, Jim.
Doesn't know he's muted.
I had a friend that was a greeter or whatever at.
I have a friend.
What was the one of the big delis on the west side, and they got involved in a huge bookmaking thing. People. Yeah, she was making book at the deli.
Well, if you
Hold on.
watch Georgie and
Delphina, come
Mandy's
with me and
first
Jim to
marriage,
Brent's.
they're booking too. Sports books.
Who what?
Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, the TV show.
I don't know.
Never mind, it was a stretch.
Hold on. This is a new person. Hi, Susan. I don't know you, Susan. Where are you from?
Oh, look how his voice changes when he's talking.
Hey, Susan, can I respond? You brought it up. Okay. I'm excited about this. I haven't been excited about a release. This is the Small Faces Autumn. Is it Autumn Leaves?
Rich
Autumn.
hates canters.
It's a double comp that came out only in the UK back in the, I don't know, 80s, 70s, whatever. No, late 60s. It was when Immediate Records was folding, going bankrupt. Andrew Loog, Oldham's record, he did this last-ditch effort, I guess, and put this comp out. It's excellent. And now Kenny Jones and the estate has been working on this. You only can buy it directly. And it's a box set of 3 LPs, so it's expanded. I pre-ordered it. It's shipping on the 11th. I got that notice too yesterday.
Wait, is this one of their studio albums, or is this a
No,
live
it's a
album?
comp, and it's got the singles, some B-sides. It's excellent. I have a UK copy of it, and it's an excellent record. It's got a couple live things on it too. But the Small Faces were a great band. I mean, it's a really good record. So there's a CD version of it as well you can get. But as of right now, it's only available directly to the site. They did it themselves. They worked on it themselves.
They were never the Small Faces. The label gave them that name. They didn't like it.
No, the label.
They were
didn't
the Faces. The label put small on it.
No, they actually literally had Small Faces. They were in a bar. They met in a pub or something.
Weren't they two different lineups?
But their name was
Small
Faces. The label made it.
Steve
Small
Marriott leaves the band, and Ron Wood and Rod Stewart joined, and they became the Faces. Yes, and they get signed to Warner Brothers. And the first Faces quote album was called The Small Faces in America. Probably not in the UK. That first album, and then the rest were Faces. And you know they were a great live band of Faces. Really good. So,
But they're two different bands.
essentially, yeah. But they're
Where did Steve Marriott go when he left?
But you could say the same thing of Fleetwood Mac. You know, Fleetwood Mac 75 is different than Peter Green's Fleetwood Mac. They got the same rhythm section though. In that case,
where did Steve Marriott go? He just went solo, or did he go?
No, he started Humble Pie with Peter
Humble
Frampton.
Pie. That's right. Yeah.
He did do a solo record, a couple solo things.
30 days in the hole.
When he burned up in his house, he got drunk and knocked it.
Okay. I got you, Patrick. Hold on.
Yeah, they're two separate bands, but not. It's like saying Fleetwood Mac is 3 separate bands. You know.
Matt, here's the difference, Mazzy. I don't know how popular the original Fleetwood Mac was.
Not very.
But in my world,
very popular.
I didn't know. Listen, growing up, I didn't know the Faces, and I didn't know the Small Faces. I had 2 older brothers who listened to classic.
You never heard Ichigo Park? That was a top hit in America.
Let me finish my thing, and then you can give me shit about it. I had two older brothers who were big into classic rock, but I knew who Fleetwood Mac was.
Okay,
So I'm
Fleetwood
just saying-
Mac in the UK had a #1 hit with Peter Green called Albatross. It was a top.
Mazzy,
hit.
where did I grow up? I didn't grow up in the UK.
No, but they had hits. I mean, they had music here. I mean,
Yeah, but they weren't mainstream.
No, they weren't an AM radio hit.
Yeah.
They were big on the FM charts with Oh Well
Hey.
and their version of Black Magic Woman. They wrote Black Magic Woman. Peter Green did.
Hold on one second. Listen, you moron. If you're going to fight with American deli food and the shit you have in the UK, that shit's going to give you the Hershey squirts.
Big
Not
Ian.
any of us American food.
Shut the fuck up. I don't think I'm right. I think I'm right because I'm saying it. Rob thinks he's right. Harry thinks he's right.
No, I don't.
Will-
Listen, Mazzy, I don't think I'm right.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is if you're going to make a comparison between Fleetwood Mac and the Faces or Small Faces, they're not comparable.
You know, Fleetwood Mac, even in America, sold a lot of records with Sentimental Bare Trees and Then Play On. Not top 10 yet.
When did you're going to get me taken down, Harry? Stop.
Because he was a bitter man.
Oh, don't
Hold on.
ugh.
Uh-oh.
Harry.
Think of Santana, okay? Even though Santana didn't have a lot of top 10 hits until like in the 2000s, really. You know, Oye Como Va, yes, but even
Wrong.
Those two singles were
Those
huge.
two albums were fucking off the charts. No,
They were
they
huge.
weren't top AM hits except for Oye Como Va, except
there
for
was no AM in the 80s. I don't get that at all.
no, but
In
I
the
mean,
80s,
Part of it.
60s.
in 1970, they didn't have. It was an FM hit.
When did Rod Stewart leave the Faces?
He had a solo records
I
while
was singing
he
Ooh
was
La
doing
La.
the Faces,
Well, he
when
left.
they
He-
split up.
From the get-go, that dude was a big star.
Yeah,
Now,
he
when
had
they were
a
at
parallel
Woodstock,
career.
they didn't even have an album out yet. And the only reason they played Woodstock is Bill Graham said, if you want the Grateful Dead, you got to take Santana.
Yeah,
They didn't know who
exactly.
Santana was.
Right, and their
Yeah.
first album had come out.
Right.
Right. And yeah, I mean, Abraxas wasn't a top 10 singled album. It was an FM hit.
When
became-
was Black Magic Woman? What album was that on?
Second album.
Abraxas, but that was written by Peter Green from Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, but that
done-
was a big hit for them, right?
yes, but it wasn't. Was it a top 10 hit? Let's look. I don't. Think
But you're
so.
right. I mean, they were an FM, because
Exactly.
Soul Sacrifice and yeah.
I mean, and even the Faces only had, was it Stay With Me? Was their only top 10 AM hit? I think, right?
Yeah, but that is not mainly attributed to Rod Stewart, though.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, he had a.
I guess
he had
I was
a
muted.
parallel.
Oh, I'm
Yeah.
sorry,
Oh,
Patrick. I thought
Patrick's here.
I said this is the smartest Patrick sounded in years.
I know. I was doing so well. Well, I mean, the Faces played on all the Rod Stewart albums, so the fact of when Rod Stewart left is really kind of ambiguous because they were all playing with each other. It
Well,
was
they
like-
split up. He didn't just leave the group; they just all split up.
but they all played on his records even after he left. So
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
it's like they were. It's like it was incestuous. But
right, yeah.
Jim, you took me to some deli that had like Guns N' Roses on the wall, and it was there was like pictures of Guns N' Roses, and there was like other celebrities. It had the old 50s like a. Yeah, it's Cantor's. I think it was Cantor's.
It's got to be Cantor.
Oh, that was Cantor's, yeah.
We went to
That's
some
a
other
fine-
place the day before. We went to some other place. We got there right at the end. That you said, I can't remember the name of the place, but I took a picture. You were there, so I think. But
We
But
did
yeah.
okay.
yeah,
The best though was the barbecue. This guy comes in with like, an onion and tomato, and he puts together the most amazing barbecue sauce you've ever seen. Right.
it's because you didn't have any barbecue sauce at your house. How do you serve tri-tip without barbecue sauce?
Can I tell you,
Yeah.
man?
Because he thinks it's corned beef.
Tragic,
Well, how do you make chili without beans?
because that's the way you're supposed to make chili, Harry.
How do you make clam chowder without real clams?
Yeah.
I use canned chopped clams.
So, Mazzy, why are you excited about the Autumn Stone? That was like a shitty sounding comp even back in the day.
It's not though. I don't.
It
think it's-
was. it was on Daffodil here. Was it on Daffodil? Wasn't that the
didn't
label
come
it was on?
Daffodil is
It didn't-
Blossom Dairy's record.
It didn't
label.
come out in America. It came out it's only an import. It was only an import.
I'm pretty sure I have it on in Canada. It came out on Daffodil.
Well, maybe
It's on
that.
It's
Well, I don't
Canadian.
know that version of it, but the original UK version sounds really good. It's excellent. I love that comp. To me, that's one of those comps like Weird Scenes by the Doors or Smith's Louder Than Bombs, where it's a mix of hits and non-hits and B-side. It's just a really good double comp, a great overview, and it's a real great mix of music. So that's why I like it. I think it represents all the best stuff of there without being just a hits collection, like singles collection. I didn't know it came out in Canada, so maybe that's a shitty version tape, or I don't know.
Yeah, I think I might have it. So
Yeah.
most of
Hey,
the small faces stuff you need to just stick with the UK releases. That's kind of like
Yeah. Well, yeah.
because like there are but small faces was what came out here. I don't think that ever came out in the U. So it's like
Right.
Who else was on Daffodil?
I don't even know Daffodil.
Well, the one I know is Blossom Dairy's record label.
Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
You know what? This isn't the greatest sounding record.
Side 1 is great. Side 2 sucks. So yeah, Side 2 it's happened with that frickin' that guy. The guy who's the narrator guy.
Yeah, I kind of I agree with you on that, but that was a massive hit in the UK. That was a #1 record for weeks in the UK. It's so British.
I love Renee on that album.
The record
Renee's probably
before
my
that-
favorite song on that record.
The record before that is their best album.
Yeah, but it's not hard to be a
the
big
auction
player
on
in the
Saturday-
UK. It's a
Saturday.
small country.
Is that an original UK?
It's a US.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it a pink immediate? Is it a lilac immediate? Yeah. Okay.
The cover is in fantastic shape.
Does it have the fold out? Was it fold out and all that shit?
Yeah. The whole thing.
In the
folds out.
70s, they put it in a red.
Be careful when you open that thing because if you do it right, it'll tear.
Yeah.
No.
In the 70s, they put it
Wow.
in a.
And he just like throws it open like nobody's business. It's gonna lose it. Be careful, Rob. Oh, hey, here you go.
This was the stupidest. Wasn't this packaged a different way too, or no?
They had to cost them some money to make that cover.
That was the
Well,
originals. The way they
was-
did that. Yeah.
Yeah. In the 70s, they put it in a red square sleeve. So
Oh, hang on a second. Now I know why I wanted to come up here. So someone mentioned the Black Rose box set, and so Mazzy was talking about Rhino and like people on eBay saying, "Why the fuck would you pay $150 for this?" Well, people pay $150 for a shitty Steely Dan UHQRs, so why wouldn't they pay $150 for Black Sabbath?
You're right.
So-
You're right. But they don't have to pay $150 for the.
Listen, Patrick, are
Black
you the
Sabbath.
Wizard of Vinyl? I don't think we can talk unless you're the Wizard of Vinyl.
Okay, but
Did you order the Black Sabbath, Patrick?
no, because there's gonna be a dropout on War Pigs like every U.S. pressing that's ever happened since the beginning of
That's so
time.
funny about that. I've been reading about that dropout, and I never heard it before.
Well, let me ask you.
I never
question,
noticed it before.
I didn't either.
Patrick. So I have the 2010 Kevin Gray. Can you imagine it being that much different than that?
No,
Well, with his
no,
with his
no,
new-
no.
That's a shitty,
His
that's
new
a shitty
equipment.
Rhino pressing. That
It's
I mean, a
it
rainbow pressing.
sounds perfectly fine, Mazzy. My pressing's fine.
Yeah.
You know, I just recorded something that was on Rainbow 2 and it was dead quiet. I was like going, oh no, it's got the rainbow, it's got the S dash whatever rainbow thing. I'm like going, oh no, here we go. And it was that. So I mean, they're not all bad. But no, I didn't get the Paranoid. I actually have an original UK with the credits, management credits here, and that thing is as good as it's ever going to sound. But I'm curious to see what it will sound like. Somebody will send it to me.
You'll be able to get it at your local record store in the next.
Yes, I know. I think all those titles should be in print. So I'm not anti Rhino or anything like that.
Oh,
but once again, I wish they would do titles they haven't done. I mean, Love It to Death. Come on, they've done that at least 3 times. At least.
Hey,
Okay, what do you want to hear? Everybody
Mazzy.
says that, but what do you want to see out there?
I would like to see a list of the options. All right, how about Ambrosia's first album? How about that?
Nobody wants Ambrosia.
But they won't sell.
Obviously, Love It to Death hasn't sold that well either.
can I
Ambrosia.
chime in? But I'd like to talk to these Rhino people.
Let's take a poll. How many people want Ambrosia?
Because look,
The first Ambrosia, which is a very prog album, so engineered by Alan Parsons.
Ooh.
But here's the deal: they have sold more of the how many? It's still in print. The Rhino Hi-Fi of the Black Sabbath's first album, right?
And it should be in print.
Crazy.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
Is that the Prague one, Harry, or is that the one?
That is the Prague one, but that's a different cover. That's not the Prague one. The other one, that's the second cover. That's the second cover.
Yeah.
The first cover is more
this
proggy.
is a very good record.
That's
Nice, very nice.
No, that's not the record. They changed.
That's rock song, right?
Yeah. So that Ambrosia album, if you haven't heard it, is one of the best sounding records I've ever had. It's a great record. It's a really, really good record.
But it's got that dropout on the first song on the U.S. pressing.
Yeah, Harry, but you're so high you won't notice it.
You know,
I never noticed it.
I swear to God, until I read the Hoffman forums, I never heard a dropout on War Pigs. I never noticed it. I never noticed.
When are they announcing the next Rhino Reserve ones?
Well, in that interview, the thing with Westman, he mentions that for the Summer of Love or the summer, whatever Rhino does, they're doing 3, and then Rocktober 2. So they might do some interspersed, but so it's not going to be a normal, ongoing, every other month thing.
Hey, didn't they start your year off right? Didn't they put out a bunch of good records for that?
Yeah, including the first 2 reserves was part of that.
It was.
Yeah.
It also
They kind of mix it up. It does get confusing. I will admit that.
You know what? That's the problem, because didn't the Black Sabbath come out is Rocktober?
Probably. Yeah.
The Hi-Fi, the Black Sabbath.
I think you're right.
So
the high fidelity ones, though, you can't
Steve
get them.
Westman says Ambrosia may become a Rhino Reserve.
I know.
Class.
I highlighted it, Mazzy. You weren't paying attention.
I wasn't paying attention because it's your show. I don't pay attention to your show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here.
So
it's because Steve Westman has. You only have 5 brain cells working there, Rich. Westman has more.
So 2009 and 2017, Rhino did Love It to Death, and so now we're getting the 3rd iteration of Love It to Death from Rhino. So
that's all. On his
that was 8 years ago. You know, that's a new generation. 8
years.
Well, I mean, come on, man. There's other titles they could do besides Alice Cooper, Love It to Death.
You know what? I don't have a problem with it, but can't you just go buy them used somewhere? Can't you just dig?
Yeah, but you don't always get them.
Can't you put those back in print and then redo something else?
Everyone has access to buy all those records used easily. That's the thing.
I do.
I agree with Patrick. This shit should be in print. You know, everything should be in print. It shouldn't be a big deal.
I'm fine with it being in print, but they have this special Rhino Hi-Fi thing. Make it special. I don't know. It's just not special to me when they keep redoing the same shit over and over again. I appreciate that they're in print. I appreciate they're in print, but it's not for me.
But there are a lot of people other than us that don't have these records.
Like I said, I appreciate they're in print. It's just not for me. I'm just when I speak of that, I'm just speaking for my own personal preferences, not of the collective. I'm happy for everybody, but it's just not something that appeals to me. Until they have something that I really think is cool to get.
Joe, The Scott Walker records, they reissued a few of them a few years ago, but they're hard to get, even the reissues. They should do Scott 1 through 4 as a slipcase box set, just reasonable priced. Someone needs to do a good version of those Scott Walker records. I totally agree. I know he doesn't have a big U.S. following, but he's got a cult following big time.
Hey, Vinyl Piper, come up here and show your Rodriguez records.
I'm looking at Love It to Death. On eBay, sold March this month, $13, $14, $14, $15. All March 16.
What were the quality of the records sold?
Yeah, but Jim, look at Abbey Road. Abbey Road is always in print.
Now the uncensored OG.
There's that one.
But so what?
There was a couple of Scott Walkers right there.
Yeah, but they're hard to get.
Oh, these are UKs too. Yeah, these were sent to me from a guy in Scotland.
I mean,
Yeah.
They don't have a big. He doesn't have a big following in the U.S., but he does have a following, and especially. But I can't believe those aren't easily available now.
Yeah, there's something Rhino could do. Put out Scott Walker records.
I don't know what label is. That's not.
You're on Phillips.
Who owns Phil? I think it's.
Now here's a
Universal.
record that's
I don't know
being
who owns Phillips.
reissued. Nobody's talking about.
Oh,
They're
shit.
reissuing the whipped cream cover as a 60th anniversary picture disc.
Oh, shut up.
There you go. There you
And
go.
yes, I did pre-order it on Amazon.
Hey,
Oh, man.
hey, can I make an announcement? If you're in LA, one of the better record stores has moved. Deadly Wax. Their new location, they're opening today. Today.
In
There you
They're
go.
Granada
the
Hill.
nice family that runs it.
Is that Nick Rudeau?
No. Go to
You got to make yourself
go to
bigger if
Chris-
you're going to share that, man.
Calm down, Dr. Robert. I know how to do this stuff.
I'm just trying to help.
Hey, listen, I don't step in and push you out of the way when you're cutting someone open.
Okay, here's a record that's coming out for Record Store Day for the 50th anniversary that hasn't been reissued, and I know Patrick especially is clamoring for this one.
Oh, here we go. It's going to be
It's
some
Metal Machine Music is being
Oh,
reissued on Record Store Day, but there is an audience for it, and it hasn't been in print.
So, what
I
is a
have a- I
Rhino
have a
Reserve? Is it what's the difference from a Rhino Reserve from a Rhino
I'll
High
let you
Fidelity?
Patrick, I don't
it's-
know what your intake of coffee is like, but the reserves have such a nutty flavor
Yeah,
with a
No,
little.
Patrick, $8 cheaper, not the heavy covers, not the gatefolds.
They're basically
Actually,
the Blue Note Classic.
Those two records they picked.
Okay.
They picked, the Southern Nights and the Eric or Gail, what's his name, Eddie Hazel, were great choices because they're not massive.
Did they do Maria Moldauer? Is that one they did?
No.
Is it,
They
what
haven't-
Southern
they've
Nights?
only done those
Eddie
two
Hazel?
soul
What,
records.
what Southern Nights? What Southern?
That's
Who,
Alan Toussaint. You didn't
Okay,
pick up
gotcha.
Eddie- you
No,
didn't
they
pick
could
up
have done
Eddie
the Glenn
Hazel?
Campbell.
somebody sent me the Eddie Hazel. It was okay. It's not as good as the original by a pretty fair margin, but it was pretty
Really?
good.
I haven't heard the original.
I have a medical question for Dr. Robert.
Okay.
Okay, on the TV show 1923, which takes place in the year 1923,
23.
they have to drill a hole in the guy's head to relieve pressure,
Mm-hmm.
and they do it with just chloroform. But could you actually drill a hole in somebody's scalp and then suck out the blood and
Harry,
then just
why don't
put it
you
back
come on
together
over?
and tape
Hold
them
on,
up?
Harry. Come on over and we'll see what we can do, Harry.
I
Well,
mean,
there's-
is that even possible in those
oh,
days?
they do it. They do it. It's not at all unusual.
Oh, I understand
So-
doing it in a hospital under
Oh.
conditions, but doing it in a farmhouse and
Did you ever see Phantasm?
Yeah, that'd be unlikely. You kind of got to have imaging to know where to drill, I guess I would say.
Phantasm was a
Baby
great
drill.
movie.
Harry, if
Probably
you want to
wouldn't
practice, I have
go
3
well.
volunteers for you.
It
Don't-
probably wouldn't. Probably
Are
wouldn't
they-
turn out well, Harry,
Dr. Robert was a spine surgeon.
in
everybody,
1923.
so-
Well,
Yes.
I
yes,
hope I didn't give away anything. Anybody that's watching the show.
I never drilled anybody's skull, but my
You
colleagues
ever
down the hall
observed
did.
brain surgery before Dr. Robert?
Whatever.
Did you ever drop
So-
a screw into a
I asked
cavity?
a,
and
I
forget
asked a
about it?
legitimate question, Dr. Robert.
You ever
What was
drop
the
your
question?
gum into?
Have you ever
you
dropped
ever-
a junior mint?
Oh,
Have
Yeah,
you
you
ever observed
oh my
brain
God.
surgery?
So,
Okay, let me
So-
ask you this.
I will. I have. If you
We
want,
talk
I have
leave
a story.
behinds. Let's talk leave behinds.
Did I what?
Leave behinds. Have you left
No.
anything behind?
In a wound? No, I never
Hey,
did that. I don't
Hey,
have.
everyone, sorry to interrupt, Dr. Robert. Hey, can everyone say hi to Billiam? Hey, Billiam,
I
you're a
Billiam.
fucking idiot. Goodbye.
Well, you know what? Maybe Billion had his head drilled, and it's not his fault.
Yeah, hey, you know what, Billiam? We'll
That's
get
true,
you a
Harry.
one-way ticket to Seattle. Harry has no problem drilling a hole in your head.
I heard that the next Rhino Reserve is going to be $1 Billion Babies by Alice Cooper. So,
Whatever. So I was going to say, if you really want to know,
oh, come on! There's been worse jokes than that on this panel. I guarantee you, Harry's here.
You know what?
I
You're the best that's on here today, Patrick. That was excellent.
Thank
Okay,
you.
okay, go ahead, Dr. Robert.
all right. So the closest I have to dropping something in a wound was a guy that came in with an open ankle fracture, and it was a terrible fracture, and it was the bone was called the talus, which is sort of the, it is the top of the ankle, and it's where the foot moves against the leg, right? So, and the head of the talus had broken off and was totally detached, all right? So, and there was dirt in the wound and all of this. So we had the head of the talus out on the table, and we're scrubbing everything up and trying to put it all back together. And the head of the talus drops off of the table onto the operating room floor. That happened to me. So
that was in the movie.
Did the dog run off with it?
Now,
Wasn't that in the movie, the real Frankenstein?
Is there a statute of limitations with your medical insurance provider, Doc?
Now, does the 5-second rule apply there?
Yeah, exactly. Well, we had no choice but to pick it up and clean it up and put it back in. And of course, it had been already exposed to the outside and dirt.
Right,
so
it was already ooga-fucked.
it was. But
Rob, can you highlight words, ruin music, please, and let Dr. Robert respond?
I can't see it.
You notice, Doc, I didn't leave the stream when you were telling that little story.
Wait.
Oh my God,
Charles, are you a
bird.
medical
That's a
physician?
bird.
Or have you had this brain surgery, dear?
I can't read what you're looking at.
It says you can relieve spinal fluid in the head by doing a lumbar puncture in the spine. Come on, Dr. Robert.
Well, yeah, that's a different sort of thing. If there's a focal collection of blood or pus or
Excuse me, pus?
huh? Blood, pus,
We are talking
or
about
tumor.
bilium, Jim.
Can I ask a question?
You
What
just
exactly is pus?
What?
What is pus?
So pus is the body's reaction to infection. So it is
I'm gonna vomit right now. Oh,
it's white cells, and it's its appearance is kind of creamy, liquid, not always liquid, sometimes kind of a soft putty. Yeah,
It's called semen, actually.
It's gross, and it doesn't smell good. It's
What does this have to do with music?
Hey,
Music is sex and pus.
Hold on.
I'm just responding to questions.
Can I suggest a name change for a YouTube channel? Pussing Vinyl.
Okay, I want to.
Nice.
Have we ever talked about pus on Rachel's
I
Go?
am so sorry I asked
Oh
that
my
question.
God.
Pus never been a topic on Rachel's
That
Go.
was a
Just trying to help.
bad question. Terrible question.
Yeah.
Pus knows.
Ian, you should know better than try to eat during this stream.
Although we
Yeah.
could talk about Pusshead, who was like an artist who did lots of famous album covers.
Let's say this.
He was the preeminent punk artist for album covers.
Well, Buckethead got hit really hard and turned into Pusshead.
See, that's a way worse joke than mine, and you know it, Harry.
Yeah.
You know that's a way worse joke than mine.
Well, Harry's a veteran of open mic nights.
Yeah,
That's
a veteran of getting the hook from open mic nights.
Hey,
Yeah.
yesterday I went to McDonald's because it was St. Patrick's Day, right? And everybody gets Irish food. But yesterday I went to McDonald's and I ate a kid's meal. And boy, was his parent pissed.
That's
Oh,
That's a
God.
dad joke. That's a
Someone
dad
pour a
joke.
Shamrock Shake over Harry's head, please.
so Harry and I were walking down the street yesterday, and we come across a sheep with its head stuck in a fence, a
You've
picket
told
fence.
this
You hold on.
It can't get out.
So I have to
What?
because he's told that joke 17 times.
I know. Yeah.
Jim's usually a pretty funny guy, but I don't know what
I
happened.
think we've all. I think
He
we've all.
Richard.
He
I think
is.
we've all
All right,
been.
never mind. No.
We've all previously been victims of
Oh.
that joke. I think.
Oh, here it is. It's a St. Patty's Day. So Harry.
Yes.
So Harry's at a Dodger game and he's taking a leak at the urinal there, the common urinal, and he notices next to him there's a midget, and he's just fucking
Can't
curious.
say
Is it
midget.
really you, Jim, that's standing next to him?
He sneaks a peek.
Yeah, what are you doing
And
here?
this fucking midget is hung like a racehorse. Okay, so
Not Jim.
Harry says to the midget or the little person, he says, "Oh my! I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe this. I snuck a peek. Where the hell did you get, member like that?" And the little person says, "Well, I'm a leprechaun, don't you know?" So Harry says, "Well, you have to grant me 3 wishes." So the leprechaun says, "Well, sure, I'll be granting you the wishes, but first you've got to be taking this." And Harry says, "What?" And the leprechaun says, "I just be granting the wishes. I don't be making the rules." So Harry wants the 3 wishes. they're in the public restroom at Dodger Stadium. And this is where it becomes a shaggy dog story. And you can describe what the events
Doesn't
about
Joke have
Harry
a time
being raped,
limit?
Harry being raped at Dodger Stadium by whatever we're talking about. And that's where you get very descriptive. And then the leprechaun says, "What's your name, laddie?" And he says, "Harry, please stop. You're killing me." And he says, "And how old would you be, Harry?" He says, "I'm 71 years old. Please, you're killing me. Stop." He says, 71, and you're still believing in leprechauns, are you? Sorry. I apologize.
Man, there's a time limit on a joke.
But their middle part is where you get really gross and talk about what happened.
I think the worst part is that he even went to Dodger Stadium. That's
I
think
I'm
the
having
worst
trouble.
part is, why is Jim hanging out in bathrooms at Dodger Stadium?
I'm having trouble identifying a good part to that joke. I don't know.
Yeah, you
What's
tell
green
really
and
bad
sits on the deck?
I will say nice Irish
Patio
accent.
furniture.
Pardon me?
What's green and sits on the deck? Patio furniture.
Boy.
Okay. We're going there.
Can someone go drill a hole in Harry's head stat?
A piece of string walks into a bar.
Oh, God.
Why the long face?
Can we go back to talking about records, please?
I don't think I've ever been on this stream, and I know why now. So.
No,
You've been on. You've been on.
Hey, this is just warm up.
I just blocked it out. I just blocked it out. That's what happened.
Hey,
Anybody know this band? Oh, sorry.
Hold on.
No.
You guys know these guys, Raining Sound?
No.
They are really good. They didn't really. They've got almost 10 records out now. They're from Memphis. They're kind of a punky band, but really just good rock and roll. I found them back in the CD era, but and their vinyl is not plentiful, but I recommend it. They'd be a great band to look at doing a box set or at least some reissues on.
Somebody has to have heard of them first.
Yeah.
Well, I'm telling you,
That's
they're out
what's
there.
green
They're
and
good.
smells like
You
Miss
kind of
Piggy.
violated the cover of that album with that sticker.
Yeah, I know.
Maybe it was a leprechaun got a hold of it.
Nobody's
Maybe
ever
on the
mentioned
back?
that. I don't know. Nobody's ever mentioned those stickers, but let me just say this one's not autographed. It's not autographed.
Thank God.
Well, they know how to turn down old men trying to get them to sign their albums.
Yeah, I've never seen them live, so still to happen. Still could.
Hey, Roberto is saying that from all signs in the last year, it seems to be they're going that way.
If you've got any credit with them, I would get your records now.
Use your credit with Vinyl Me, please.
I thought
get out of
The
there.
fuck just happened here?
I thought they already closed, actually.
Really?
No, they're still selling records.
Looks like you turned your camera off there, Patrick.
What the hell happened? Weird.
I
It's
don't
like I was uploading a file to a work folder and it just freaked out. So, yeah.
Den Bosch, April 12 and 13.
I think
Rob
Doge
Walker-
is hitting the VMP.
Rob Walker mentioned he's going there.
I might go to the WFMU one this year.
That's supposed to be a good show.
It is good.
That's in
Yeah, I'd rather
October.
go. I'd rather go there than Austin. That's for sure.
What's the date for Den Bosch?
It's like
April 12 and 13.
April 12th and 13th. Yeah. Huh. That's my wife's birthday. Yeah.
I've got a daughter turning.
Both days?
April 12th.
Oh.
I've got a daughter turning 50 on the 5th of April. 50-year-old daughter.
Nice. Congrats.
Tom, that $600 is a bargain when you figure you're getting 60 CDs.
Yeah, I'm not buying it, but I'm going to get
not either.
I'm going to get the 4-record set, I think.
I'm interested in seeing the
But
packaging.
everyone complain about it. $10 a CD is not
cheap.
outrageous. Yeah, I'm not buying it though, but people bitching about that too. People,
who the hell's going to listen to it?
Well, Deadheads, have been collecting hundreds and thousands of tapes.
This is over what period of time? The 60 box, a 60 CD.
It's 20 of the venues that they their favorite venues, and was it 3 shows per 2 shows, 3 shows per venue.
They played in DC, the Capitol Center.
But does
Yeah.
this cover like their entire
RFK.
year or what?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
Kinda.
And I have less of a problem with than the 60 CD of just 1972, where it was the same fucking songs over and over and over.
Well, but they do a lot of
Well, it always is, though, for the most part.
But they had other songs they wrote after 72 that they could play in their shows.
Right.
Yeah, but I prefer that era myself.
I do too, but how many times do you need to hear them going?
Hold on.
China Cat.
You were allowed to reproduce Big Ian? You were allowed to do that? Sorry.
I have a daughter that's 50, and I have a son that's, I think, 25.
You don't even know?
No, he doesn't.
I was blanking for.
You know what? He rather
Does
tell that
Elon
joke
Musk
about
know all of his kids' birthdays?
Stay strong, Jim.
No, it's over. I went and paid to get it. I had a vasectomy.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Yeah, that worked.
Good.
So, when
what Jim said, could I get a vasectomy? And they said, we don't do microsurgery here.
Bang! That was
only if you give me 3 wishes.
But we'll drill a hole. But we'll drill a hole in your head.
Yeah. Still believing in leprechauns, huh, Harry? Anyway, I have some
Harry, on that show 1923, do they do vasectomies by just putting rubber bands around people?
I don't know if I can remember this joke right, but it's this guy's dick is dripping, and he goes to the doctor, and the doctor looks at him. He says, we're going to have to amputate. He goes, what? He goes, what? We're going to have to amputate. There's no other cure. He goes, I want a second opinion. He goes to another doctor. Doctor looks at it and goes, I think we're going to have to amputate. He goes, wait a minute. Wait, there's got to be another way. And doctor says, no, there's not. He says, I'm going to, let me get another opinion. He goes to a Chinese practitioner, and the Chinese doctor looks at it and says, that's not, what'd the other doctor say? He said, they said that they had to amputate. He goes, oh, silly American doctor. He said, just wait 2 weeks. It'll fall off.
Yeah.
I heard that. Just take this. It'll fall off in a week.
Yeah.
All right, stop with the jokes. People, we're losing people like crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, Mazzy. Jim has a question for you.
The monkeys in monobox. Okay, I have it, and I think I was going to sell it. Okay, here's what I would do.
I have it. It's on color vinyl too.
Yeah, you don't need it. Here's what you need to get. You need to get the Run Out Groove. They've only done the first 3 records. Actually, the third one is Rhino. So Rhino Run Out Groove. They're double albums, which has the outtakes or singles, whatever they are. I forget, alternate. But Kevin Gray cut them. They're stereo. The best sounding Monkees records have ever sounded. And so far, they've only done the first 3 Monkey records. So I think they're better than the originals. When Cold Gems weren't, they're okay. They were shitty pressings. The monobox is okay. I have it. If you want to look online, offer it. I'll sell it to you. I think I still have it.
But the monobox has Pisces, Aquarius, blah blah, whatever in mono, and you can't find that in mono except for a fold down.
Except for a listening enjoyment thing, it's not that great. I would get the stereo, but that's just me.
If you don't have any Monkees records, get the box. Absolutely.
They don't sound as good as those Run Out Groove Rhinos.
What's with Run Out Groove? They haven't done a new release in
they don't
years.
exist anymore. That's why.
And some of their shit really sucks bad. So yeah.
Really, Run Out Groove?
Yeah.
They did the Secret Machines. They did.
Actually, I like
the Run Out Groove stuff.
The Curtis Mayfield one they did was really good.
Yeah, I like those. But they're part of Warner's, so they rolled into Rhino. It's not. They used to vote on the record, and they used to press whatever record people voted on. But it's rolled into Rhino now.
Well, for headquarters, the monkeys were the musicians.
Yeah. Before that, it was a lot of the wrecking crew and stuff.
Right.
You know.
Peter was actually a very accomplished musician as well as Michael.
Yeah, that's why the next series that who was it, Don, whoever the guy that produced it was, instead of using live
Don
actors,
Kirshner.
but yeah, Don Kirshner, instead of using live actors, it was the Archies, so it was cartoon characters. So they didn't complain about not playing the instruments.
They went.
Was it Ron Dante? Was the guy in the Archies? Was Ron Dante? Was that his name?
Yes.
The guy that sang.
Yes.
I don't know that. I just you got fed up with complaining musicians.
Well,
some music history. Some
Yeah.
Is that as good as a joke? I don't know.
I'm a huge Monkees fan. They were
this is a
big to me as the Beatles.
I understand the complaints like from people like Patrick and stuff about they should have used the UK of this and that. I don't understand why. Now, the American labels don't always have access to the UK taste. Why don't any of these fucking UK companies, there's a Rhino, Warner's in the UK, every single label in the UK, why don't they start doing their version of audiophile all analog within the UK? Instead of blaming the Americans and expensive shipping to Europe, why don't the UK, with all those great tapes there, do the equivalent?
Makes sense.
Well, we have someone who might come on Thursday. I'll ask him. Is Craig,
right?
Analog October, who he's sending me his new release, and he can explain his experience.
Is it just not the audience? Because they can't, obviously, if they have the licensing in the UK, they can't sell those in the US unless someone orders it directly, because they're only
jazz label?
Like, for instance, all the Smiths,
Sam Records.
Sam Records. Isn't that what they're doing?
That's French. That's French.
But that's a jazz. I'm talking about the big rock records. The big rock records that Patrick talks about, the Black Sabbath, all the Deep Purple, all those bands that recorded in the UK. Why can't the UK divisions of Warner and Sony?
They should repress the Vertigo stuff using the original labels, make them nice and collectible.
Exactly. But in the UK, let those companies do it.
Do they have pressing plants in the UK other than ERC?
Well, it could be Europe somewhere.
Well, they would do Europe like Americans do.
Well, I mean, they could source it out to like frickin' MOV's place, the ones that old Sony place.
I don't know. I don't have the answer to
record industry. That's it. Yeah.
Everyone likes to jump on how expensive it is to ship stuff to the UK. Rightly so. I'm not. I understand that complaint, but why don't they just do them there? Geez.
Yeah. At least cut the plates there and then send the plates out.
But Roberto, the mono box is a digital recording, really well done, and it's easy to send digital files to the US than tapes.
Yeah, you stupid UK people. You know what? All your anger should be directed at this UK person.
But there are pressing plants in Europe, and in Eastern Europe as well.
Well, but they're not part of the EU anymore, so they don't have that whole discount.
They voted against fucking Brexit, so it's their fault.
I'm sorry, I brought it.
Next thing you know, they'll be voting against lunch and dinner.
Mazzy, I'm not going to make it political, but once the UK decide to do analog, to Harry's point, do it with the original Vertigo, we slap a tariff on it, and those records will cost $600 each.
For us, yes, but not for the Europeans. Yeah.
So in the TV show 1923, they have a warped record, and they're trying to flatten it.
Yeah. And they drill a hole in it.
Did the record sound like this, Harry?
That was jazz too.
I blew heaven.
Hey, don't laugh. I saw a guy that had a wax cylinder jukebox. It had 10 wax cylinders in it. You put a quarter in it. Pick which one you want to listen to.
So I might be interested in a volume 4 Black Sabbath Rhino 1, because the UK pressing does not sound amazing. So
Oh,
I would be
good.
interested in that one. And that one I would be interested in.
Said they're going to do those. I don't know when. It'll be a while probably, but
If they get to Sabbath Bloody Sabbath, that was done in the U.S., so that's a U.S. tape. So they should. If Sabbath Bloody Sabbath is where they should be able to just really go to town and just do their thing. If they have access to the actual tape. So
what's a better album, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath or Sunday Bloody Sunday?
Sabbath Bloody Sabbath.
Hold on.
It's my favorite Black Sabbath album. Other than Heaven and Hell.
The only person I know who might have his copy is Vinyl Piper. He might have it sooner than anyone. So he can.
I have not
the
heard.
most amazing records I've ever seen.
Who?
Chris, Vinyl Piper.
Yeah.
What have you never seen?
He gets amazing records.
Well, he
pays for them.
You know what? Here, people say, like, I find a lot of good stuff. You know why? Because I go out looking for it all
the time.
Yep.
He does too.
Mm-hmm.
He knows where to go and look for him.
He sent me a picture? He worked on the Paul McCartney Saturday Night Live deal. He was engineering or whatever he does, but it was pretty cool.
Plus, you all live in a target-rich environment too. I mean, it's.
Listen, I'm not complaining.
So I mean, I think where I live, I mean, it's like if I was retired, I would spend all day, just like doing this shit. I would just be finding shit all the time. But there's plenty of stuff here between here and the Bay Area. There's a lot to look for.
It's not like you don't find stuff, Patrick.
Oh yeah, I mean, I find stuff all the time. So, but you got to go out. You can't. It's not going to come to you.
People live in L.A. How many millions of people live in L.A.?
10?
What is it? The second biggest?
No, hold on. Here's the one thing I hate when people say a city. It's not the city limits.
Yeah, I know. It's
the metro area.
Yeah.
So in my mind, LA goes from Ventura County all the way down to in Orange County. You're talking 22 million people.
So there's a lot of records to choose from.
There's a lot. The only other metro area bigger than LA is New York. There's like 26 million people there. So,
but you got 22 million people, and the record industry was pretty much based there for the rock industry from that era was pretty much based there for for a lot of period of time, a lot of labels, so a lot of industry people. So,
oh wait a minute, I got to take this call. Yeah, Jim, what's up?
Yeah, is that the guy who needs to drill a hole in your head?
Wow, that was.
Did you just order a new pig?
That was. It's on the way.
What?
The new pig.
What? Oh, the new pig's on the way.
Yeah,
are you going to buy that? Are you going to buy that Techniques, Jim? Is that what's on the way?
I am really. I'm going between the 1200 and the 1300, only because. The bigger one, it weighs 20 pounds more, and it's got a little bit better tone arm.
But it doesn't have as good a motor.
It does. It's got the same.
No, they have different motors. They have different motors. There's a different motor. There's a different component of the motor.
The 1200G has the same motor as the 1300.
There is a different component in the motor that's different than those two. So I'll look it up, but I remember there is a difference. There's a newer component in the 1300G.
The 1300 has the newer components. So does the 1200G costs $1,000 more than the 1300. So it's got that component.
Hold on. Go ahead.
I mean, I would love to get away with the 1300G, but I think I have to go for the 1200 because it's got. I'll probably wind up spending $1,000 upgrading the 1300. But at any rate, yeah, these Techniques turntables, they have the new Delta Sigma drive.
Yes,
that's the new component. They both have that, and direct drive. I want to get into it. I'm sick of belts.
Yeah, dude,
very expensive.
You change your mind all the time.
Oh, Rob, seriously, man.
When's the last time you've been to Dodger Stadium, Jim?
I'm telling you though, man, the cartridge that I picked up, man, for $550 is the best cartridge you could ever spend. You have to spend 20 times that much to beat
check
this
that
thing.
out.
What is it?
Dodger Stadium, I go all the time.
What
It's
cartridge?
it's
Do
a
they have
Denon
the real low
DL103
urinals in there?
that has a boron cantilever and
I'm
micro.
sorry. Someone was talking. I didn't hear you.
So there's a guy named Andy Kim who actually lives close to me. He used to live in Seattle. He has a website called the Needle Clinic.
Yeah, he did
And he does a lot of retips, and so, but he also takes Denon DL103s and he removes like the front plate, kind of denudes them, and then he puts on a boron cantilever with a microline stylus, attaches to it, and I'm telling you, man, this is the most musical cartridge I've ever heard in my life.
Is it a MM
Moving
or MC?
coil? Moving coil.
See.
$550 out the door. It's amazing. It tracks. It's got microline. It tracks. It's like I said. It's the most musical cartridge I've ever had.
I've never had one in my system, and I know a lot of people go crazy.
You've never had a moving coil in your system?
I've never had the Denon one.
I'd never had a DL103 either. I mean, I'm like, because they had elliptical styluses. I'm like, I don't want an elliptical. Ellipticals don't track. I did have a DL-S1 for a while, and it sounded great, but yeah. But yeah, I'm telling you, if you have $550 to spend and you're looking for a cartridge to go in on, try it and trust me.
What's the name of it again?
What phono stage?
I know.
It's medium output, so you can use any phono stage. So 100 ohms. 100 ohms. Zoo Audio doesn't use microline, and they add weight to it. They put a body around it. This guy takes the body off of it and lets it quote unquote breathe.
Right.
So
there's a lot of guys that
you don't need to put a body around it. If it's not tracking, just put a nickel on it.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, do you use magic tape or regular tape to strap the penny onto the top of the cartridge?
I glue it.
I use blue tack.
I use
Gorilla Glue.
I understand Dr. Robert uses pus.
Oh, God.
Well, in a long time.
I wouldn't recommend
we'll pus it here to plastic.
You have to know what you're doing if you're going to use pus. That's all I'll say.
How come they don't make them out of Bakelite anymore?
I think these are made out of Bakelite.
Are they?
Like I said, if you're looking for a new cart and you want to try something, I don't typically recommend hardware, but I'm telling you, man, this is for $550. It's got more bang for your buck than anything. There's a tracking angle article on it from January where he goes into detail about how amazing this is.
Why don't you write an article about it for Record Collector News?
Because tracking angle's already done it. So
yeah, but that's for intelligent people to read. The normal.
I'm not a hardware guy, but I'm telling you, I can compare. Oh, yeah. I can compare different. My different setups.
People don't read the articles in Record Collector News. They just look at the pictures.
I know. That's it.
Well, I would write an article, but I don't want to deal with the dickhead that owns it.
When you say article, are you talking about that gray stuff in between the ads?
Yeah.
We needed some.
And now because of the tariffs,
like Mad Magazine,
price has gone up on Record Collector News.
Record Collector News is just a shill for Upscale Audio. Every time I order from Upscale Audio, I get a fucking Record Collector News inside the box. So, he's just a shill. He's just a shill for Upscale Audio.
Hold on. I send Record Collector News to everyone who buys records for me.
I don't think Jim does a magazine so people can read about music. He does a magazine so he can get deals with all these fucking people to get equipment. That's what he does it for.
It's a job. It's a job.
Oh, man, don't do my thing like this.
What?
I don't trade with record stores, though. I never.
Can I make a recommendation for you, Jim?
Please.
You got this one guy in there, this boomer dude. He's not funny.
Boomer Sculper.
Well,
yeah, he's not funny.
Yeah, hold on. In your face, Harry, or more appropriately, hole driven in your head.
So Harry. I mean, Mazzy, are you using a Hana right now? Do you have the Hana ML? Is that what you're using?
I have a Hana Umami Blue.
Okay, so I would if I talk to Andy, I'm going to talk to Andy this week, and if I have him send you one, would you try it on your system?
Yeah, I would have I'll have my guy come over and
have him send me one, dude. I can set it up.
Yeah, I have a big channel. Tell him I hit. Okay,
Jim
today,
has a magazine.
I'm bragging now. While we were talking, I hit 39,000 subscribers.
So I'll tell you what, I will have him send it to Mazzy, and then once Mazzy's done, have Mazzy send it to Jim, and then they both can listen to it.
Well,
So how's
As
that?
we've been streaming, I've lost 2.
Well, we went, Nancy, the comment we made on with Marty Sunday was that you're like the Kevin Bacon of the vinyl community. There's 6 degrees of Norman Maslov.
Excuse me, I have to go to the bathroom.
Thank you.
Why are you doing that on
I know where you got that, Harry. Don't you take that from me, Harry. I know where you got that.
That's Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Hey,
Yes,
Rich, Patrick offered it on
May
a
is
loan.
the restroom, certainly.
The thing with gear, companies don't give you free gear. Now, the Hummingbird was a separate thing, but they don't give you free gear. They loan you free gear for okay, I think the Wax, a few people who were misinformed. Melinda did that video on the
Mac. Never
Mac.
said anything about what Melinda did.
Well, maybe who was it? Somebody we were talking to. Anyway, Melinda did that review and that talk about the Macintosh. They reached out to her. It's on loan. It's not hers to keep. Now, what she can do, I don't know her details, but like with Michael, I think he got the Hagel. Some of these people, you get gear, you test it out for 3 or 4 or 5 months, and then you have to send it back. Or you can buy it usually at cost.
Yeah, there's always a catch.
Get to keep
You gotta
it
send it back.
forever.
So I bought a Soundsmith off Jeff Dorgay, who has a Tone Audio magazine, and he sold it to me for under what? So he said he got it for half price from Soundsmith. And
Well, if
so
anybody wants to send me a skull drill, I'd be more than willing to try it.
The
out.
Hana Umami Blue, I got.
I'll send you a rusty old screwdriver.
I got the Umami Blue. I got it for wholesale price.
That sounds like sushi.
It does.
I have a Hana.
You know what?
Red.
I'm gonna start a controversial thing I'll put out there. Audio equipment makers are horrible at naming their products. Discuss.
No, I
like Umami Blue. I think it's a great name.
Umami.
Yes, it's a good song by a band from Australia.
What are you using on your system right now, Jim?
I have a Hana Umami Red.
Oh well, which one's the more expensive one?
Your mama
red,
can't even
red
read
is
it. You
awesome.
mean your mama red?
The Umami Blue retails usually for $2,500. So
Yeah.
Every year they have a period you can buy it for $2,000. Wholesale is $1,000.
Umami Red is a $4,000 cartridge.
So you could buy almost 8 of these with this Denon Deal 103.
Yeah, but so what?
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, you're gonna freak out when you listen to it. You're absolutely gonna shit your pants, and you're gonna go, holy fuck.
I don't have a problem with that at all.
Yeah.
I've heard that the Denon 103 is one of the best cartridges. I've never listened to one ever.
So
because I was always looking for a moving magnet, I have a moving coil.
I've had moving magnets.
I know it's 9 o'clock. Give us a break for a second, Wax. Pat, I have a question for Patrick. This guy, Andy Kim, not to be confused with the 70s pop singer Andy Kim.
Yes.
He basically customized an existing cartridge. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. He basically buys it new, and then he'll yank the front of the body off, and then here I'll show you. Hang on.
It must be a cheap cartridge to begin with.
It is. It's like a $350 cartridge to start. Yeah, you probably get some wholesale. So see how it's taken off there. It's exposed. Okay. It's not exposed in Okay. Yeah. So that's exposed. He puts on a boron cantilever and a micro ridge stylus, and it's amazing. It's absolutely. Am I getting commission? No, I'm not getting a commission. Like I said, he used to live in Bellevue, Washington, and I sent him an email because I thought he still lived there. He literally lives like 5 miles from me now. I didn't know. I went to his house and sat there and hung out and talked with him.
He left Washington and moved to that shit ass state of California that's crumbling.
Yeah.
But Patrick, so what's stopping the company who makes the cartridge from actually doing what he does?
Well, I mean, it's Denon. I mean, they're a huge company. They're not going to. It's a niche thing, They're not going to sit there and say, "Why would we want to do that? We can just mass make these, And
Let them buy it and
Oh, has
Plus,
he,
they'd have to make a deal with Namiki to get the boron cantilever and it would probably be a pain.
Sounds
I
pretty
would imagine.
involved. Yeah.
how many
It's almost
does he sell?
surgical.
Quite a lot of these, or is
I
it
don't
just-
know. I mean, like I said, he has a website called I think it's called needleclinic.com. And he's been doing this for a long time. He did one of my Audio Technica AT33 PTGs years and years ago. And but he's also building his own cartridge. I listened to it, and it really wasn't for me, a little bit too mid-forward. But man, I mean, yeah. He's pretty opinionated, but
Doesn't it depend on the source?
of course, everything depends on the source.
So if it's too much mid, maybe that's the way the source was made.
Well, he was swapping between that cartridge and his other cartridge, and I could tell right away that what's what. So, but his
Right.
plus his cartridge is going to be like $4,000. So
What now? Well, guys,
his
I want
cartridge is going to be like $4,000.
to wrap things up.
No. Hey, we'll decide when this is done.
Can Mrs. Harry draw on your head? Hey,
I think it's needleclinic.com is what it is. So that's just the link. So
Sounds like a heroin needle exchange thing.
yeah, it sounds like a place you don't want to run into a leprechaun, right?
yeah. Hey, everyone. Thanks for coming by. I really appreciate it. We'll be back on Thursday morning to discuss more interesting topics. Thanks
Plus.
for coming by.
Thanks for
Appreciate it.
hosting, Rob.
Plus.
All right.
That's for everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
That's for us all.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.